Hi everyone, thanks for coming to talk about your experiences of using health services as a care leaver. We want to improve things for care leavers, so your feedback is really helpful and we hope will help change things for the better. Maybe you could begin by telling us about your experiences.
I have memories from being really young that are bad, and I went into foster care with my brother when I was 3.
I was 13 when I went into care.
I was 10 years old when I went into foster care.
I was 10 when me and my sister first went into care. We thought we would only be in care for a couple of weeks, but that didn't happen.
In 2011, I was placed with an older couple. This was just as I was leaving primary school. At the time, I simply put myself and a few things, a backpack and a couple of books, upstairs in my room.
I was 5 when me and my brother went into care. He got adopted and I went to live with me nana, then on to 3 foster homes.
I went into foster care when I was 7, and it felt really alien. I arrived with an apple and a black liner full of my stuff. I had really mixed feelings. On one hand, I was thinking, am I going to get looked after properly? But also I'm thinking, maybe I'm going to get the chance to get a proper childhood here.
For me, it was strange. I came into the care system quite late at 15 years old, and naturally there was some ups and downs. I wanted to be away from the bad situation that I'd been in, but going into Tyneside Fire was not what I wanted. However, luckily it was just for a week.
At first it was pretty good. I had mixed emotions, fears and excitement. I was worried it might be stricter, but it was okay.
It was difficult being in care, but there were a lot of positive experiences. I was able to go on holiday and be a child with Christmas and presents. I wanted to call my foster parents mum and dad, but my biological mum got offended, so I had to stop.
When I left my last foster carers, I only had 3 months to find somewhere to live. I eventually found a flat, and at first I was a bit lonely, but then I got with my new partner. Things didn't go well though, and it quickly ended because he was abusive. I went through a stage of drinking and people coming over to stay. I just wasn't used to having all this freedom.
It was weird when I first went into supportive lodgings. I thought I wouldn't like it, but I did.
Specialists in autism spectrum disorder assessed me in various areas. When I received the report, much of the information about the cost of support was redacted, but social services said it was too much for the level of support that I needed and that I should be okay without it.
I left foster care when I was 18 and I went into supported lodgings. It seemed to go quite well at first, but I didn't stay too long, as things started to go wrong when a lot of my family tried to get in touch when I left the system, and I couldn't cope with it.
I've got some issues with anger management. I try to walk away if I can. I have a bit of a stutter and I don't want to be mocked. Sometimes I just explode if I am.
In foster care, I wasn't allowed to do anything, but now I can do what I wanted and it all went too far. My anxiety got worse and I was slipping into debt. When I was drinking, I was supplying booze to the people who were coming over and I had no time to myself.
The issues I faced when I was going on to 16 plus was I didn't know what was going to happen. I thought I wasn't going to get any help or support that I needed, but thankfully I was proven wrong.
You have big rooms here, and they teach you how to cook, clean, do your laundry, and iron. It's going good. I feel like I'm making progress.
After 2 weeks, I started to get involved with drinking drugs. I didn't like being alone in my room all the time. My mental health was in a really bad place.
I was very stubborn about getting help when I was younger. When my confidence was knocked, I was always reserved. This wasn't good for my mental health issues.
People tried to help me with it, but I kind of shut off a little bit to begin with. And looking back, I should have, one, helped myself more, but also allowed people to help me more.
I was self-harming with a knife I bought on the internet. It calmed me down. The hospital staff bandaged me up and spoke to a doctor, and I was offered medication to help with everything.
My sister has helped me a lot since I've turned 18. She taught me how to be more my age and girly. She even got us out of my sports pants.
2 months after my 18th birthday, the Department for Work and Pensions decided to stop my PIP on extremely short notice. This made it more difficult as I had to switch from job seekers allowance to universal credit. Luckily, I had support to ensure this happened smoothly.
Next for me is to go into supported lodgings. I am looking forward to my move, as I will have more freedom and direct choices. But I do need help managing my money.
My lodger thinks I could get my own place soon, as I could do a lot for myself now, and people do come around and check. I know how to budget, but I need to learn more to make sure I have enough for food.
Money problems are my biggest issue. Sometimes I just eat pasta. Other times I can afford normal food. But then it's back to pasta and toast. Because of this, I buy in bulk to make it last.
One of the fundamental issues I would say was an issue was going to doctor's surgeries because of previous health concerns when I was with family and other unpleasant issues to do with other members of my family. So it was always quite a negative place. Like, it was never for quote unquote good news. And that's when I feel like it's kind of just put me off a little bit.
From the age of 14, I had to go to the doctors by myself, which I really struggled with due to anxiety. But I was too frightened to tell my foster mum I had an appointment. And I had to ask my friends to come because I was frightened that the social workers might tell my carer.
Getting to medical appointments can be difficult if I'm not in walking distance, as I now have to rely on myself to get there. And this would mean that I would need to have travel money.
Getting to a medical appointment was difficult when I turned 18 because I was bad with money. I had to go to doctor's appointments on my own. If free travel was available, there wouldn't be any worries.
I think it would help if we had some travel money to be able to get to appointments and back, because I used to have to walk or ask my friends for money.
Free travel for care leavers would mean that I could learn to be more independent, as well as not having to worry about being able to get to important appointments.
I have no support for my medical conditions or support with money to afford my medicines. I have serious allergies and need EpiPens and inhalers, which I have to buy, though I am a bit better equipped now that I'm at university and have the unis and the social services bursary. I don't talk much about my health because I don't want to worry people.
Living independently can make it difficult to pay for prescriptions. If I'm on benefits, that would not be a problem. However, if I work and I'm not on a high wage, I would struggle to pay as prescriptions are expensive.
I feel fine accessing healthcare. The support is there if I need it. I can reach out to someone here or my social worker.
Young people in care need more support in dealing with bullying and staying safe on the internet. I was bullied over the internet and it can escalate really fast. It feels like there's no safe space for young people online. Being aware to expect online and what could happen needs to be addressed.
I think mental health needs to be normalised. Lots of young children in care suffer with things like anxiety due to living in someone else's home and being around a family that isn't theirs. And in some cases, people getting bullied in school because they're seen as not normal.
I feel that waiting times for mental health appointments are too long. I might not have a big support network around me. And this could mean that my mental health gets worse while waiting.
There's many signs of children with depression, but nobody seems to acknowledge it.
I've been a lot calmer since I got away from the hostel and care, but I still haven't had any help with my anger management. The hostel and my nan did ask about it a while ago, but nothing ever came of it.
I think what might improve things for care leavers is if there was a dedicated team around healthy eating and other health services for all care leavers once they turn 18, even though it's just a phone call or an appointment a couple of times a year.
Having a team of people around me, maybe a hub of workers I could have contacted around my health, would have been helpful.
When I used to go to my LAC reviews, I got weighed to make sure I was healthy enough for my age, which I think was good. And it was nice talking to someone, but you're always frightened in case they then pass it on to your foster carer. So personally, I stayed silent and dealt with all my problems on my own until I did eventually go see a doctor and got prescribed medication and counselling from the age of 17 due to having panic attacks.
When I was coming up to move from my first carers, I would have liked more knowledge and insight into where I was going, as I didn't know what to expect. I need as much info as possible. I need choices to where I'm going next.
I also feel like it should be that you should not have to disclose every health issue if you don't want to. Obviously, there will be some where action may need to be taken away, like for example, extremes such as like self-harm or something. But for the minor stuff, I feel like that should be at the discretion of the young person rather than whoever's in charge of looking after you has to know every single thing. That's wrong.
What worked well for me is having the support of Shaz and Kirsty, my housing officer and my social worker. They both have loads of practical skills and can support me emotionally. They're professional but totally approachable.
I had to manage on my own till my support worker came along. He actually helped me. After 10 years, I finally had someone who wanted to help me. He's a decent social worker. I can trust him because he does what he says he will do.
My new worker took me out for a walk in Saltwell Park. It got me out and was good to talk. It really helps when they treat me like an adult because some of them don't.
One thing I think that should change in social services, a tighter network of people, just a handful of 3 or 4 people just there whenever's needed, just to help provide the support that's needed, rather than social worker changes or a change in where you stay, because I think that can unsettle people and cause further issues.
There's a lot of support around young women getting pregnant. There doesn't seem to be enough for young dads. If young men had a support system to help them come to terms with being a father, that would be great. There's a lot of labelling around young fathers being absent, but I think a bit of help could change this. It would give them a sense of responsibility.
I had excellent help from everybody in the 16 plus team whenever I needed it. If I had any problems, my social worker would be there to listen and give their best advice.
I open up more when I know someone and I need to get to know them to form a proper relationship. There's a lot of red tape in care about what I can and can't do. What really helped me when I was leaving care was having a furnished flat to go to. It helped me during my assessment to have routines and to learn home care.
I think as well as being friendly and good listeners, a good social worker needs to be quite forward sometimes. If you think I'm making a bad decision, then you need to tell me.
I think supported living could be better with more advice with people, and the carers should be trained to signpost people to the right services at least.
I know some people need more help and support than others, but from my point of view, I think that the 16 plus team are amazing in what they do to help people prepare for independent living.
Sometimes people laugh at the idea of respect, but respect matters. In life in general, I've been taken as a joke. Now I'm 20, I'm standing up for myself. Living on my own when 6 people all said I couldn't. But here I am. I've been in my flat on my own since November 2020.
I felt down about my past, but my girlfriend says I'm strong. I'm a survivor. I feel good now, but I get down thinking about it all. But it's there. It's my past. I'm going forwards.
If I could speak to younger me, I would say everything would be okay. It's big, it's different, and it's noisy, but just talk to people if you need to.
Like one day at a time. I'd say fight your anger more, work on it on your own. Don't be so quick-tempered. Walk away.
I'd say don't be a to my mother. Be nice to her. Learn from your past and learn from life lessons.
Be positive and don't mix with the wrong people.
What I would say would be more open to getting support from people and actually accepting it rather than trying to do everything yourself, because not everything is going to go your way. And if you've got the support there, definitely take it, because it'll definitely help in the long run.
Be aware of people, because everyone's personality is different. Just be you.
I wouldn't do much differently. I could definitely say I've done my best, making use of the opportunities I was given.
If I could give my young self some advice, it'd be to try and think of the future, of what you want to do, and try to get your words out and make yourself heard.
If I could speak to the 7-year-old me, I'd tell him to focus on the positives. Know that you're in a safer place and things will keep getting better. Try to accept that being in foster care is a good thing. Now you can leave that bad situation behind.